Zaxxon. I can safely say without the shadow of doubt that it was the very first Sega game I ever played. Not in the arcades, no, but on my brother's ColecoVision. Wait a second, that's not a ColecoVision. It's a flashback console from ATGames or ATGames or whatever the fuck. Yeah, the same people responsible for the Genesis Classic I thoroughly bashed a few months back for its shoddy wireless controllers and substandard AV quality. Yet, here it sits. Much to my dismay, I simply can't afford another retro console. Collecting Sega is hard enough. Hell, where would I put it? Look at all these systems, and that's not all. Atari's chilling in the editing room, while an Xbox collects dust in my closet. Besides, a genuine ColecoVision's larger than life and just as heavy. Then we have this flashback console. Like the Atari systems, it mimics the original's design at only a quarter of the size and a fraction of the weight. She's packing 60 built-in games, some of which are homebrew titles. It even comes with a few overlays for the controllers. Actually, let's talk about the controllers. Unlike the ATGames Genesis, these are wired and can be removed. Unfortunately, you can't swap them out with Atari or Genesis controllers like the genuine articles, so if these should break, you're shit out of luck. They're obviously modeled after ColecoVision controllers, except the joystick's nowhere near as stiff, giggity, and the numeric keys actually feel like buttons. Before, I felt like I was punching in my zip code at the pump. Many have already spoken out against these things, saying they're flimsy and easily breakable. I see where they're coming from, though they don't bother me much. I wouldn't spike the fucker anytime soon, but if you have a soft touch, it should be fine. Personally, I've never liked ColecoVision controllers. I really don't know what they were thinking back then. It's like, hey, let's just add a thumbstick to a TV remote. Brilliant! It doesn't make any sense. If these controllers were worth their weight, I highly doubt any gamer would have attempted switching them out in the first place, nor lamented the loss of said ability.
So don't hand me that it was the best of times bullshit!
Another brain fart of this console's design is this. Why is the AC port on the side? That's ridiculous. You route the AV cord out the back but not the AC? I don't get it. Alright, on with the games. Let's start with Space Fury. A Sega classic if ever there was one. First, you're taunted by this alien that looks like something off of Star Trek. Love that music. Then you're blowing the shit out of small space fighters that join together, becoming a greater threat. It's very reminiscent of Asteroids. However, once you've beaten the stage, you can collect an upgrade. Very cool. The Flashback has some control issues with other games, but this plays fairly well. The music, while I love what little there is, suffers from the same affliction as the Genesis ATGames console. Audio's way too loud and off-pitch. It's not as annoying, but worth mentioning. Now we have Zaxxon. The graphics were pretty stunning back in 1982, being one of the first, if not the first, isometric shooter. You're a lone fighter invading a fortress, destroying enemy laser turrets and fighters in the process. You can control your altitude, giving Zaxxon a bit more challenge beyond avoiding laser fire. There's even a little shadow to help you out. This is kinda cool, but it saddens me to say that my depth perception's horrible, so this dynamic's always been a struggle for me. It's even harder once you get to open space. An indicator will appear when a fighter is directly ahead, yes, though it doesn't help much. Another thing you have to look out for is fuel. It's not bad on the easy setting, though your craft will burn through petrol faster than the Bugatti Veyron. 8 miles per gallon? Fuck me. How do you refuel this bitch though? Easy, just shoot gas cans. Can you imagine how exciting it would be if this shit were possible in real life? The ColecoVision port is the best I've played outside of Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection for PS3 and 360. It's a damn sight better than the Atari 2600 version. Damn, I know the Atari was incapable of matching the arcades, though I've seen way better 2600 ports than this, like Missile Command and Asteroids. The isometric view is gone and the graphics have been completely neutered. Here our wonderful gaming community will cry out in terror over Pac-Man, but not Zaxxon? Good God. In closing, the ColecoVision Flashback is decent. I'd rather have the real thing, no question. That aside, it's cheap and most of the games play well. It may disappoint those that love the heist and Slurpee, since one runs far too slow and the other doesn't really work at all. I'm sure ATGames will make updates like they've done with the Atari units, so who knows. Still, I'd say it's $40 well spent.